Hi, it's Rebecca, and I'm going to give you a demonstration of how to sew up for your wrist warmer today. So when you're sewing seams on knitwear, you always have the right side on the outside and you put the wrong sides together. I've just attached a different colour yarn here so you can see a little bit more easily. So first of all, we're going to start with a figure of 8, join at the corners. So my tail is coming out from this side here. I'm going to sew it at the very corner that I can find from inside to outside. So I'll insert it this way. And then I'm going to go back through my original corner again, inside to outside. I want to sew through the yarn there because that's not ideal. And then it's called a figure of 8 because it makes a figure of 8 join, the shape of an 8 when you join it, right? And then you can pull it. And that's a nice way to join your corner edges together. And then the first part is we're going to be sewing mattress stitch through the purl bumps. So when you do this, you want to sew through the bottom bump on one side and then the top bump on the other side of the same row. So that's like row 1, row 2, row 3, 1, 2, 3 here. And you always start with the bottom first. So here's the bottom bump on this side here, and I'm just going to pull it through. And then on this side here, that's actually my top bump there. It's got stitched through, but I'm going to sew it through the top bump here. Okay. And then we go back to this side and we go through the bottom bump. And I'm not pulling it tight just yet because I want you to be able to see. And then the top bump. Bottom. And then top. Okay, I'm just going to pull this now. And what it does when you do this, it kind of pulls the bottom and top bumps together, so it gives you appearance of the garter bumps, the purl bumps, continuing around the row. Okay. When we get to this section here, we're going to do the mattress stitch but on stockinette, which is different. So you're going to be sewing between the first stitch and second stitch. This is the first stitch here. And if you pull the first or any stitch apart, but when you pull the stitches apart, you see these rungs of the ladder. So these are called the ladders. Okay. So I'm going to insert my needle and go under 2 rungs of the ladder here and pull it through. And then I'm going to go back on this side. And again, I'm going to go through or underneath 2 rungs of the ladders on this side, like that. And then you can keep on going up. So when you insert the needle on this side, you go in to the same hole that the yarn came out of before. So that's there. And now my second rung is here, right? It's one rung, so I'm just going to pop that in there. And then I'll do the same here. There's 2 there. Okay. Oops. And you can see when I pull them together, it brings the seam together and you get like seamless stockinette. And when you sew mattress on the stockinette, you get like an actual like proper seam on the inside like this. Now, if you're just sewing up for the from the top to where the thumb's opening starts, you've probably sewn your 2.5 centimeters. So I'm going to take my needle back and take it into the inside. I'm going to flip the piece inside out. And then because this is an opening, I'm going to do an overhang stitch twice, just to make that more secure. And then you can sew in your end by doing a running stitch back up your seam allowance like this, just running it back and forth. And then I'll go back one more this way, and that's enough. And then I can just trim the end. And I tend to leave a little tail when I trim these days, like so. And that's it. And that's how you're going to sew up your wrist warmer. Thanks.